The transition from casual dating to a deeply committed partnership is often marked not by a single grand gesture, but by a series of subtle yet profound behavioral shifts. For many women, deciphering the truth behind a man's actions can feel like navigating a complex maze of mixed signals and unspoken emotions. However, when a man truly falls in love, his psychological and emotional landscape undergoes a fundamental transformation that inevitably spills over into his daily conduct. These changes are rarely about sudden, dramatic personality overhauls. Instead, they manifest as a gradual realignment of his priorities, his communication style, and his vision for the future. Understanding these 15 signs is essential for anyone looking to distinguish between a passing infatuation and the kind of enduring affection that forms the bedrock of a lifelong bond. The core of this transformation lies in the shift from a self-centered existence to a partnership-oriented mindset. In the early stages of attraction, a man may focus on how that relationship makes him feel or how it fits into his schedule. But as love takes root, the I naturally evolves into we. This isn't just a linguistic change. It is a mechanical shift in how he processes information and makes decisions. Suddenly, your comfort becomes as important as his own. Your opinions carry more weight than those of his peers, and your happiness becomes the primary lens through which he views his success. This internal evolution is often driven by a cocktail of biological and emotional factors, as the brain's bonding chemicals like oxytocin and vasopressin begin to prioritize long-term stability over short-term excitement. Furthermore, love acts as a catalyst for emotional maturity. A man who once guarded his feelings or avoided deep conversations may find himself becoming increasingly vulnerable. This opening of the emotional floodgates is perhaps the most reliable indicator of true love, as it requires a level of trust that cannot be faked. It involves a man showing his unpolished side, his fears, his professional anxieties, and his quiet hopes, effectively handing you the key to his inner world. By observing these changes, such as his increased reliability, his protectiveness without the sting of possessiveness, and his eagerness to integrate you into his most private circles, you gain a clear view of his heart's true trajectory. Recognizing these signs allows you to move beyond the anxiety of the unknown and into a space of security and clarity. Whether it is the way he remembers a tiny detail about your childhood or how he stands by you during your most difficult days, these behaviors serve as a silent language of devotion. They prove that he isn't just in the relationship, but is actively building a sanctuary within it. As you explore the detailed headings of his changing behavior, remember that love is a continuous process of action and adjustment. These 15 signs are the milestones of that journey, confirming that his feelings have moved past the surface and into the realm of true, transformative love. 1. Prioritizing your needs above his own. When a man begins to transition from a casual mindset to a deeply committed one, his focus shifts from me to us. This change is most evident in how he manages his time and energy. Instead of making decisions solely based on his own convenience or desires, he starts to actively consider what will make your life easier or happier. This might manifest as changing his long-standing Friday night plans because you've had a stressful week and need a quiet night in, or taking on tasks that he knows you dislike doing. It isn't about him losing his identity. Rather, it is a conscious choice to integrate your well-being into his personal definition of success. This level of selflessness is a hallmark of emotional maturity and a strong indicator of love. He begins to find genuine satisfaction in your comfort, often placing your requirements at the top of his daily agenda, whether it is driving across town to bring you your favorite meal or adjusting his sleep schedule to match yours. These actions demonstrate that you have become a central pillar of his life. By consistently putting your needs at the forefront, he is silently communicating that your happiness is inextricably linked to his own. 2. Active and intentional listening. Communication is the bedrock of any relationship, but active listening is the fuel that keeps it alive. When a man is truly in love, he stops just hearing your words and starts deeply processing them. He pays attention to the nuances of your tone, the things you leave unsaid, and the emotions behind your stories. You will notice that he remembers names of colleagues you mentioned weeks ago or follows up on a minor doctor's appointment you were nervous about. This intentionality shows that he values your perspective and respects your voice as a significant influence in his world. Intentional listening also involves his physical presence. He puts away his phone, maintains eye contact, and asks follow-up questions that encourage you to dive deeper into your thoughts. This behavior signifies that he is not just waiting for his turn to speak, but is genuinely curious about your internal world. By creating a safe space where you feel heard and understood, he builds a foundation of trust. This shift in behavior is a powerful sign of affection, as it proves he is willing to invest the mental and emotional effort required to truly know the person behind the partner. 3. Consistent and transparent communication. In the early stages of dating, communication can often feel like a game of strategy, but love brings a refreshing sense of transparency. When his behavior changes toward consistency, it means the guessing games are over. He keeps you informed about his day, shares his thoughts without being prompted, and ensures you never have to wonder where you stand with him. If he's going to be late, he tells you. If he's feeling overwhelmed, he explains why. This honesty isn't about reporting his every move. It's about respecting you enough to keep you in the loop of his life. Transparency also extends to the difficult conversations. A man in love doesn't shy away from conflict or hide his true feelings to maintain a false sense of peace. Instead, he approaches disagreements with the goal of resolution rather than winning. He is open about his fears, his mistakes, and his intentions for the future. This level of openness is a major behavioral shift that signals he is ready for a serious long-term partnership. By being a clear book, he invites you to do the same, fostering an environment where intimacy can thrive without the shadow of doubt or hidden agendas. 4. Seeking your opinion on major decisions. A significant turning point in a relationship occurs when a man stops making independent life choices and starts seeking your counsel. Whether he is considering a career change, looking for a new apartment, or deciding how to handle a family conflict, your opinion becomes a vital part of his decision-making process. This behavior change indicates that he views you as a teammate rather than just a companion. He values your intellect and trusts your judgment, recognizing that his choices will inevitably impact you and the future you are building together. Asking for your input is a profound sign of respect. It shows that he considers you an equal partner whose perspective can offer clarity or a new way of looking at a situation. This collaborative approach reinforces the idea that you are a power couple. When he asks, "What do you think I should do?" he isn't just looking for an answer. He is acknowledging that your presence in his life has changed the way he navigates the world. This shift from unilateral to bilateral thinking is one of the most reliable indicators that his feelings have deepened into a lasting and committed love. 5. Introducing you to his inner circle. Bringing a partner into one's social and familial circle is a significant milestone that signals a desire for integration. When a man loves you, he wants the people who know him best to know you too. He stops keeping his romantic life and social life in separate boxes. Introducing you to his closest friends, his parents or his siblings is his way of validating the relationship and showing his pride in being with you. He isn't just looking for their approval. He is signaling to them that you are a permanent fixture in his life. During these introductions, you may notice he is particularly attentive to how you are blending in. He shares inside jokes to make you feel included and highlights your accomplishments. To his friends, this behavioral change suggests he is thinking about the long term, envisioning a life where you are present at every holiday, birthday, and casual weekend gathering. By merging his worlds, he is making a public statement about his commitment. It shows he is comfortable being seen with you in all contexts and is excited about the prospect of you becoming a beloved member of his wider community. 6. Increased vulnerability and emotional openness. One of the most profound shifts in a man's behavior occurs when he lowers his defensive walls and allows you to see his true, unpolished self. In many cultures, men are conditioned to project strength and stoicism, often hiding their fears, insecurities, or past hurts. When he begins to share these sensitive aspects of his life with you, it is a clear sign of deep trust and love. He might open up about a childhood memory that still affects him, a professional anxiety he's never voiced, or a personal failure that shaped who he is today. This transparency is an invitation into his private world. By being vulnerable, he is essentially saying that he feels safe enough with you to be weak. This shift often coincides with him becoming more expressive about his feelings for you as well. He moves beyond surface level compliments and starts articulating why he values you and how you've changed his life for the better. This emotional openness is the glue of a long-term bond, as it fosters a level of intimacy that physical attraction alone cannot sustain. When he stops performing and starts being real, he is signaling that he sees you as his ultimate confidant, 7. Remembering the smallest details. When a man is in love, his brain becomes a sponge for information regarding your life. You might find him bringing up a random comment you made weeks ago about a specific brand of tea you liked as a child, or remembering the exact date of a minor presentation you mentioned in passing. While anyone can remember big events like birthdays, a man who is truly invested notices the micro details. This behavioral change shows that he is paying close attention to your world because every piece of information about you feels significant to him. This attention to detail often translates into thoughtful actions. He might surprise you with a snack you mentioned, craving, or adjust the music in the car to a genre you once said you found relaxing. These small gestures prove that he is listening with his heart, not just his ears. It demonstrates a level of devotion that goes beyond the grand, performative gestures often seen in movies. By curating his actions based on your specific likes, dislikes, and quirks, he is showing that he sees you as a unique individual and is dedicated to making your daily life just a little bit brighter. 8. Protective instincts without possessiveness. A man in love naturally develops a sense of guardianship over your well-being, but there is a crucial distinction between being protective and being possessive. Healthy love manifests as a desire to ensure you are safe, respected, and supported. You'll notice this in his behavior when he insists on walking you to your car at night, checks in to make sure you got home safely, or stands up for you if someone treats you unfairly in a social setting. He becomes your biggest advocate and your safest harbor, prioritizing your physical and emotional security above all else. Unlike possessiveness, which is rooted in insecurity and control, true protectiveness is rooted in care and respect for your autonomy. He doesn't try to limit where you go or who you see. Instead, he wants to make sure that wherever you go, you feel empowered and backed by his support. This shift in behavior is often subtle. A hand on the small of your back in a crowded room, or a supportive text before a difficult meeting. It is a quiet, steady presence that says, "I have your back." This instinctual drive to protect is a primal sign that he considers you his most precious priority. 9. Planning a future that includes you. When a man's vocabulary shifts from I to we regarding the future, it is a definitive sign of love. You will notice that he no longer talks about his 5-year plan as a solo journey. Instead, he starts asking questions like, "Where do you think we should go for vacation next summer?" Or, "How would you feel about living in this neighborhood one day?" These aren't just idle fantasies. They are indications that he is mentally and emotionally integrating you into his long-term roadmap. He is no longer living just for the moment. He is building a foundation. This planning often extends to practical matters, such as financial goals, career trajectories, or even family dynamics. When he discusses these topics with you, he is seeking alignment. He wants to ensure that your visions for the future are compatible because he cannot imagine his life without you in it. This behavioral shift provides a sense of security and stability, as it removes the ambiguity of where the relationship is headed. By making you a permanent fixture in his future projections, he is demonstrating a level of commitment that is the very definition of a partnership, built on love and mutual respect. 10. Respecting your boundaries consistently. Love is often described as a feeling, but at its core, it is an act of respect. One of the most telling signs of a man's changing behavior is how he handles your boundaries. As his feelings deepen, he becomes increasingly sensitive to your comfort levels and personal limits. Whether those boundaries are physical, emotional, or related to your time and privacy, he honors them without guilt-tripping you or making you feel difficult. He understands that no is a complete sentence and that respecting your space is just as important as being close to you. Consistent respect for boundaries shows that he values you as an independent person, not just as an extension of himself. If you tell him you need a night alone to recharge, he responds with support rather than suspicion. If you ask to move slowly in a certain area of the relationship, he follows your lead. This behavior builds a profound sense of safety and trust. When a man proves that your comfort is more important to him than his own immediate desires, he is showing a selfless form of love. This disciplined respect is a clear indicator of his maturity and his desire to create a healthy, lasting connection. 11. Showing genuine interest in your passions. When a man falls in love, your interests effectively become his interests, not necessarily because he shares the hobby, but because he treasures the joy it brings you. You will notice a shift where he no longer just nods along when you talk about your work, your art, or your favorite sport. Instead, he starts asking insightful questions and doing his own research to better understand the nuances of what you love. If you are a fan of a specific cricket team like Peshawar Zalmi, he might start checking their match schedules or learning the players' names just so he can share in your excitement during the PSL season. This behavior is a form of emotional investment. By immersing himself in your world, he is building bridges between your individual lives. He might surprise you with a gift related to a niche hobby you mentioned or encourage you to pursue a dream you've been hesitant about. This support shows that he doesn't just love you for who you are when you are with him, but he loves the version of you that is passionate, driven, and inspired. His willingness to spend time on things that matter to you is a selfless validation of your identity, proving that your happiness is a priority in his life. 12. Adopting your habits or catchphrases. A fascinating behavioral sign of deepening love is the mirroring effect, where a man subconsciously begins to pick up your mannerisms, vocabulary, or daily habits. This is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when two people become highly attuned to one another. You might notice him using a specific slang word you like, adopting your coffee order, or even picking up your organizational style. This isn't a loss of his own personality. Rather, it is a sign of deep social and emotional integration. He is so focused on you and spends so much quality time with you that your essence begins to rub off on him. This mirroring often extends to lifestyle choices. If you are someone who values fitness or a particular routine, he may naturally start aligning his schedule to match yours. This shift signifies that he is finding comfort in your way of living. It is a subtle, often unintentional way of saying that he feels at home with you. When you hear your own jokes coming out of his mouth or see him adopting a gesture you always make, it's a physical manifestation of how much space you occupy in his mind. It shows a level of closeness where the boundaries between yours and his begin to blend into a shared life. 13. Offering support during your low moments. The true test of love isn't how a man behaves when things are going well, but how he shows up when you are at your lowest. A major behavioral change occurs when he stops being just a fair weather partner and becomes your primary support system. When you are stressed, ill, or dealing with a personal failure, he doesn't pull away or act inconvenienced. Instead, he leans in. He becomes the person who brings you soup when you're sick, handles your chores when you're overwhelmed, or simply sits in silence with you when you don't have the words to explain your sadness. This level of reliability is a cornerstone of mature love. He moves from being a companion to being a caretaker of your peace. You'll notice that he anticipates your needs before you even have to voice them. If he knows you have a difficult day ahead, he might send an encouraging text or make sure you have a relaxing evening planned. This shift toward consistent, proactive support proves that he is committed to the in sickness and in health aspect of a relationship long before any formal vows are made. His presence during your dark days is a powerful testament to the depth of his affection and his desire to protect you from the world's harshness. 14. Public displays of affection and pride. When a man is in love, he wants the world to know that you are together. This isn't just about physical affection like holding hands or a kiss on the cheek. It's about the social pride he displays. He will post photos of you on his social media, hold your hand firmly in public, and speak about your achievements with a sense of pride that almost matches your own. This behavioral change is significant because it shows he is not hiding the relationship or keeping you as a secret part of his life. He is claiming you as his partner in every possible setting. This pride is a sign of security. He isn't worried about what others think or keeping his options open. He is fully satisfied with the choice he has made. You will notice him introducing you to important people in his life with an enthusiastic, "This is your name," followed by a compliment. He wants his community to see the incredible person he has found. This public validation serves to strengthen the bond between you as it creates a shared social identity. When a man is proud to have you by his side, it's a clear indicator that he values you as his greatest asset and sees the relationship as a badge of honor. 15. A shift toward long-term reliability. The final and perhaps most important sign of love is a fundamental shift toward long-term reliability. In a casual relationship, a man might be flighty or inconsistent, but when he loves you, his word becomes his bond. If he says he will be there, he is there. If he makes a promise, he keeps it. This behavioral change reflects a deep sense of responsibility toward you and the relationship. He understands that trust is built through 1,000 small, consistent actions, and he is willing to do the work to maintain that trust every single day. Reliability also means he is thinking about the future in practical terms. He starts focusing more on his career, his finances, and his personal growth because He wants to be a man who can provide a stable and happy life for both of you. He becomes more disciplined and less impulsive, recognizing that his actions now have consequences for your shared future. This shift from living for today to building for tomorrow is the ultimate sign of a man who is preparing for a lifetime of love. It shows that he has moved past the honeymoon phase and is ready for the beautiful, steady reality of a committed, long-term partnership. Does this breakdown help clarify the different ways his feelings might be showing up in your daily interactions?